Hello there, welcome back to the channel. This is Nerd World, and today I'm looking at another demon from the Buffyverse. This one is a demon that appeared in the Angel series, not in Buffy proper, and it is the Thesulac demon. A strange non-corporeal demon, but before we get to talking about it, just going to mention this video is sponsored by one of my previous sponsors, Relentless Rebels, who recently expanded their repertoire quite extensively to include a variety of new products, but we will talk about them later in the video. For now, let's discuss the Thesulac demon and the lore behind this vicious, soulless creature. The Thesulac demon, in terms of physical appearance, the upper body superficially had the silhouette of human, but it had grey skin, red eyes, kind of a broken, scaly sort of look to its skin, and was made up seemingly of its entire body, just a load of tentacles. The thing was gigantic as well by human standards, standing probably about 10 feet tall if it really stood up proper. Its powers included telepathy, the ability to levitate, and some levels of psychokinetic abilities, but the demon's main strength was its invulnerability. They were pretty much immune to most forms of attack, although one person would suggest perhaps hitting it with a particularly large axe might kill it, but they weren't sure, and who was really going to test that theory and get close enough. The demon was obviously supernaturally strong and spent most of its time in a non-corporeal state, where it would whisper to its victims telepathically. The demon sustained itself and survived by feeding off the fears of sentient beings such as humans, and that's how it lived. Seems like every part of a human, we're like the pig of the demon world, aren't we? We're kind of like every part of us is useful for something to some demon species. Human horn. Hate to think which demon species is using that one. Where was I? Thesulac feeding humans, cattle. Okay, yeah. Fairly nasty bugger, the Thesulac. Basically, it preys on your deepest fears and insecurities and then amplifies them, whispering in the subconscious of your mind and making you more paranoid. The downside of this was, yes, the demon got to feed on you, and all would be fine if all it did was make you a little paranoid. The problem is excessive feeding, and if the demon loitered around a bit too long, it would cause you to go utterly mad, suicidal, as well as homicidally violent. A particularly dangerous creature. Speaking of dangerous creatures, we will now quickly skip into my sponsor, which is Relentless Rebels, who are, if you're not aware, a sponsor I used to have on this channel, have recently sort of come back to me, and they do Viking themed and styled jewelry forms, as well as some of their own styles, mostly rings, pendants, chains, this sort of thing. I obviously, as a lover of history, having now 2 whole channels dedicated to it, do love a bit of Viking sometimes, and a lot of their themes do appeal to me, particularly one that I actually do have here, and I remember to actually have it. I do like that they come in these nice neat little boxes, and that would be, don't know if you can see it, I'll probably have to get it out, is a rather nice little Thor's hammer with these 2 little wolf heads that clasp onto the little ring. And one thing I do personally like about these is the weight of them. They're not like a spindly chain around your neck. There's actually some weight to this jewelry, so it actually has sort of some meat to it. It feels kind of beefy. And as I said, they do a variety of other things. Now, they are linked in the description below. Not in any way telling you to go and buy, but if you do think you might want to check them out, please check out the link in the description of this video. If you do find that you like the things that they sell, use my promo code NERD20, all in capitals, when you reach checkout, and it'll give you a 20% discount on all of your purchases. And I believe they also offer free shipping, so why not? It's up to you. If it's your kind of thing, just check it out. No harm. Let's move on. The Thesulac. The one and only actual Thesulac we ever encounter was encountered by Angel in the 1950s, hiding in a hotel. They tend to congregate, these types of demons tend to gravitate to where people congregate in general. So they like to be around humans because obviously humans are their food. It's a bit like saying a vampire is going to go on a sabbatical isolation in the desert. It's not. they want to hang around where the food is, and that's the same with these things. And the more people, the merrier in a way, but they like it where people are perched, like in a hotel where they kind of stay. And it would feed on people as they moved through the hotel and went in and out. This particular Thesulac preyed on the humans in the hotel and caused them to go paranoid, turn on one another. One human woman in particular, who initially Angel tried to save from the demon, but because of the demon's influence on her, Angel, not being the somewhat anti-hero that he would one day become, he was still very much a vampire with a soul and not really knowing what to do with that at this time. This was his first attempt to do anything heroic and actually selfless and help another person, and it failed miserably. And he would then quite brutally tell the demon, after the humans turned on him and hanged him, simply to take them all. It wouldn't be until about 60 years later that Angel returned to the hotel and realized the mistake he had made, finding that the woman he tried to help was still living in the hotel with the demon feeding on her. He would eventually kill the demon, and we discover the main vulnerability of this particular Thesulac, probably a weakness of the entire species to be fair, is they were vulnerable to large volts of electricity. So that's how they took this down. How people would have done that in a medieval period, maybe trying to get struck by lightning, who knows how the hell they figured it out. Maybe a Thesulac were really unlucky. We learned that Thesulacs do also spend most of their time in a non-corporeal state. They only become corporeal when, under very select circumstances, either they choose to become manifest, which, if you're trying to kill them, they're not going to do. You can use a spell, as these are, of course, a supernatural type being and vulnerable to the ebbs and flows of the magical world's effects, so you can draw one into a corporeal state, but you better be willing to deal with it when it gets there. The other time that these tend to become corporeal is when they have fed extensively, and this Thesulac did reveal itself because the amount of food it had on the table, basically in this hotel, made it get fat and bloated, and it became corporeal as a result. So there we have the Thesulac demon. One I particularly liked. It's actually an episode of Angel that stood out, as that demon was pretty damn creepy. One of Joss Whedon's better creations, to be honest, and I don't wish we'd seen more of it necessarily, but I don't know. I do feel like there was more potential in that creature. Maybe made that episode a two-parter a little bit longer. That's my opinion. Share yours in the comments below. Like, share, subscribe, and maybe check out my sponsor. We're also linked in the description below. And if you made it all the way to the end of this video, please like, share, subscribe, comment down below again. And also, while I'm remembering, check out all my other channels, including those 2 history channels I just mentioned previously. With that said, bye-bye.